Very often, people who are watching my videos look at those records behind me and wonder what they are. So today I'm going to share just a few of them with you. I know that in your collection of music somewhere, there is a song that you absolutely love, and you'll play it loud right up to the minute when someone comes towards the door, and then as quick as lightning you'll get to it and turn it off so that they don't hear it. Many people call it a guilty pleasure. Well, today I am throwing my shame out of the window, and I am going to share with you 6 albums that sit in those racks up there that people would be calling guilty pleasures. I admit it, I love all 6 of them to bits. And now stop pretending that you're not like me, because I know that somewhere inside you, you're just like this. Stop pretending that you only like the coolest bands or the greatest artists, and start embracing your pop princess or your pop prince, because I'm going to let my shame out of the door. And there's no real shame, because I do actually love these albums. Gonna start off going back to 1972. Now, at the time I was 11 years old, and my sister's in-laws had a set of dodgems on a fairground, and I can remember going to visit them at a place called Englefield Green. It's just outside Windsor. Her father-in-law had all this music on the dodgems, and he used to play a record called Tie a Yellow Ribbon by Dawn. Now, I loved that, and because of that reason alone, I went out and bought an album just the same as this, an older version. This is a reissue, and I liked Dawn. I loved their songs. They were so sing-alongable. Things like Say Has Anybody Seen My Sweet Gypsy Road, Candida, Not 3 Times. All of those songs and more are on this, and I love them to bits. Although I've never worked out in Not 3 Times how he expected her on a different floor to know what all of the different knocks on the pipe were for. But this is an album I absolutely love, and I'm not ashamed to say it. In fact, the other night we were talking about guilty pleasures on the Monday meetup, and this is what I showed them. So this is the first of the 6 that I'm going to talk about. The next one is from a year later. I was 12, coming 13, and there was this singer who was doing really well in the charts with a song called Claire. Now, I don't know why I liked it. It was a song that I expected girls to like. Do you know what I mean? When you're 12 and 13, that sort of thing, you don't go near. But I did. I loved this. See this album? This rates inside of my top 10 albums of all times, even today. The big hit on it is Claire. But if you get a chance, there is a song on this called The Golden Rule. Go on any streaming service, type it in YouTube, listen to The Golden Rule. It's really very funny. And it's probably because of The Golden Rule that I've loved this album. But to be honest with you, every single song on it is a good one. Now, I know if you're a rock fan, you're going to be looking at me and poo-pooing me for that. I don't mind. I've got some rock in the cupboard. But there's these songs. These are my guilty pleasures. These are the ones that I really like, and I can't help it. And to be honest with you, I'm not even ashamed. Next one, it's 1975. And boy bands weren't called boy bands, but back then they had different names. And there was one in particular in this country that all the girls liked and all the boys hated, except for me. They wore weird trousers with tartan down the sides. Everyone had jackets with tartan on it. I didn't have any of them, but I did have this, Once Upon a Star by the Bay City Rollers. When I think back, I bought this, I was 15, may have been 14, and I loved it. Just only the one single, to be honest. I thought there was more than that on it, but it's a good album. I liked it so much, in fact, right? I lost this album years ago when I had to sell everything. And so I sold this amongst loads of other albums. As long back as the 70s, this has stuck with me. And about 3 years ago, I think, I went on Discogs and bought it again because I liked it. And I also like this, look at this. Little pull-out slips. I know I never had them on the wall. I know I was never going to be one of those kind of fans. But I love this album. It's just so good and so much fun. And it's not the only one I've got, I'm afraid to say. But I grew out of that sort of stuff and I got into disco. In 1977, I became a disco freak. I loved the funky sounds of bands like CJ and Co. Do you remember One Nation Under a Groove? God, I loved that. Then there was Odyssey and Native New Yorker. There was so much really good stuff. And as the summers went on, there was more and more of it. I was buying 12-inch singles like there was no tomorrow because they sounded brilliant. And I liked to go clubbing and I was DJing and all that sort of stuff. And there was one song that I absolutely loved. I know I shouldn't have. I know I shouldn't have loved it. But I did. What was the song? YMCA it was. And this is the album that it came from, Cruising. There is a better album than this though, and that's Go West. And that's the next one with In the Navy on it and other songs like that. But these, I loved these. Everyone took the mickey out of me because of this. And yet, I'd go into a club and they'd chuck this on and everybody danced to it. It was just a good danceable song. I loved it then. I love it now. There is so much good stuff on this album and the one I just talked about. And there was singles before it called like Macho Man and I could go on. I don't want to go on too much. But this is an album I love dearly. And I'm not upset that I've got it. Here's a little story for you for the next one. It's 1980, right? I've got my first car and I think I'm a cool dude. I'm riding in the car and in my cassettes in there, I've got UB40's first album, Signing Off, which took everybody by shock at how good it was. There was Diana Ross and that album that she did with Nile Rodgers, where she did I'm Coming Out and songs like that. That was really good as well. And as a cool dude that I am, I had the Crusaders Street Life album on cassette, not CD. Had it in there and was listening to the sounds of jazz and that. And I absolutely loved it. And all of my mates thought that it was great too. But I had this little secret. When I was on my own, I would reach under my driver's seat and pull out a cassette. This is the album to that cassette. Barry Manilow's Manilow Magic. I'll tell you, I used to put this on in my car, right? And I would sing away to them. Weekend in New England is my absolute favourite. But songs like Trying to Get That Feeling Again, It's a Miracle, New York City Rhythm, Copacabana, of course, everything on here is just absolutely brilliant. And I can always remember not wanting to be too cool for school, but not wanting to be found out either. So the cassette to this album used to sit under my seat and I'd play it just to myself and I'd sing it really loud. I love this. I've loved this ever since 1980 when I got it, first of all. And I have no shame, do I? The things that I'm showing you. And I've got one more. The sixth and final one. This is an album by a man who played plinky plonk piano. In the UK, he had hits like Side Saddle and Roulette. And there's one that I love called Lucky Five. And I've got a CD with all of those songs on. I'm talking, of course, about Russ Conway. I've got that album on CD, but this is one that I've got as well. This one is My Concerto to You, right, from 1959. And on it, he plays all classical type pieces of music on it. It's not his normal plinky plonky stuff. This is a bit more classy, a bit more subtle, if you like. And I like it. I do indeed. But if I'd have had the CD of his greatest hits on an LP, that'd be the one that I would be showing you. So my sixth and final one is Russ Conway. And even now, you know, when I play Russ Conway or when I hear it on the radio, I get all excited about it. I don't know why, I can't help myself. But there are six albums that are unpopular, I would have thought, with the majority of musical people. But I don't care. Music is great. There's something for everyone. These six just happen to be mine. And if you enjoy music content from me, click up there and there's a playlist of loads more of my music related videos. I will see you next time.